All right, so yesterday we started our Julius Caesar CSI. We were investigating who killed Julius Caesar and why. So we read some stuff about 5 different people so far. We're going to finish it up and read about the last 5, and then you guys are going to write a couple paragraphs about who you think killed him. So, over in Google Classroom, we need to get our Julius Caesar CSI assignment opened up, please. Okay. You need to open the Google Slides as well as the PDF with the information on it, please. Have both open. Skylar, put it away for now, please. We are, I don't know. Give it a second. Okay, have both open, please. I'm going to give you about a minute. Get everything zoomed in how you need it to be zoomed. Okay, that's 2 minutes off your recess tomorrow. Yep, quickly. All right. So we are on, let's see, slide number 4. We did the one about Cassius, and we're on the second half of slide number 4. This time we're going to be hearing of words from Nicholas of Damascus. So we're going to read about those and answer those ones. So source number 6, which if you're on the PDFs means that we are on page number 6. It looks like this. Okay, yeah, these are Roman numerals. They're numbers in. Yeah. Alrighty. We're going to go and get started. I'm going to read source number 6, and then we're going to answer our questions based on that. So source number 6 says, Nicholas of Damascus wrote his account of the murder of Caesar a few years after the event. So this is after he was murdered. He was not actually there when the assassination occurred, but he had the opportunity to speak with people who were there. So, he was not at the murder. He didn't take part in murdering Caesar, but he talked to people that did take part and that were there. Okay, so this is what he wrote about. It says, the conspirators. What is a conspirator? Conspirator is the people that plan to kill people. They're planning something. So the people that planned. So the conspirators never met openly, but they assembled a few at a time in each other's homes. There were many discussions and proposals, as might be expected, while they investigated how and where to execute their design. Some suggested that they should make the attempt as he was going along the Sacred Way, which was one of his favorite walks. Another idea was for it to be done at the elections during which he had to cross a bridge to appoint the magistrates in the campus meritus. They should draw lots for some. Oh wait. They should draw lots for some to push him from the bridge and for others to run up and kill him. A third plan was to wait for a coming gladiatorial show. The advantage of that would be that, because of the show, no suspicion would be aroused if arms were seen prepared for the attempt. But the majority opinion favored killing him while he sat in the Senate, where he would be by himself since non-senators would not be admitted, and where many conspirators could hide the daggers beneath their togas. That plan won. So these people met in small groups of people of the people that were gonna kill him. They came up with a few plans. Their first plan was that maybe they should do it when he was on one of his walks. He likes to walk alone, I guess. Maybe they just do it then. Another plan was to do it during the elections when he was standing on a bridge. They would push him off, and then someone would run up and kill him down below. Another plan was to wait for a gladiator show because it wouldn't be suspicious if they were gathering up swords and stuff for a gladiator show.
And they might have accidentally stabbed him.
Yeah, maybe he got accidentally stabbed at the gladiator show. And then the final plan was to kill him when they did a meeting for the Senate, and that's the plan that they decided to go with, and that's when he was killed. So let's head over and answer these questions here on source number 6. The purpose. First of all, who wrote this source? What was his name? Good. Nicholas of Damascus. Okay. Nicholas of Damascus. Okay. And then I'm going to have you guys answer the next one. What was his connection to Caesar? How did he know Caesar? Did he know Caesar?
No.
Okay, so answer this one on your own. I'll give you a minute for this one. That's fine. Yeah.
Miss John, do you know what's funny? I accidentally spelled the name wrong for the last part of it, and they already know what we were already talking about.
Like it autocorrected it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay. So the person who wrote this was Nicholas of Damascus, and then you guys need to write in your own answer to how was he connected to Caesar? How did he know him? Oh, for Julius Caesar? Yeah, you can abbreviate it to JC. That's fine. Okay. Our next one. Number 2, the motivation here. The first one says, what evidence can you gather as to why Caesar might have been killed? This is a why, not how, but why. Does it talk about why he was killed in this? Not really. So there's not really a whole lot of information. Don't worry, Liliana. Just hop in at where we're at. Sorry that you're late. So, there's not evidence on why or why. Okay. And then it asks us, does this source provide information about who was involved? I would like you guys to answer this one as well. Does it talk about who was involved? I'll give you a minute to answer that one as well. Just write whatever you want to for the answer. Then write that. Okay. And then as we have been doing, on a scale of 1 to 10, how involved was Nicholas of Damascus in killing Caesar? 1 through 10. Number 1 is not involved at all. 10 is like, oh, he totally killed him. No. Probably not. What's your theory? Okay, so for number 3, involvement, again, you just need to put a letter, or sorry, not a letter, a number 1 through 10 of how involved you think Nicholas of Damascus was in killing Caesar. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to finish up this one. Is that enough time?
Yes.
You guys getting the answers down? Cool, cool.
Okay.
Tyler, please put it away and work on the assignment. Thank you. Alrighty. About 30 more seconds and then we'll look at our next source. I think pretty sure we'll have time to finish this today. If not, we're gonna work until we finish it because we'll finish it today. Yeah. I don't think we'll go over time either.
We did it yesterday.
Yep. All right. Ready for our next one? Okay, if we go to slide number 5, this one is source number 7. We're on source number 7. And this one is words of, I don't even know how to say this, Suetonius. Let's go with that. Suetonius, who is a Roman historian. We talked about a Roman historian. What does that mean? What does it mean to be a Roman historian?
Someone who studies Rome.
Good. Someone who studies Rome. Were they alive in ancient Rome?
No.
No, they were not alive in ancient Rome. But they study what happened in ancient Rome. So let's go ahead and go over and read that on source number 7. This one says, this is the words of Suetonius, a Roman historian and a biographer to Emperor Hadrian. Okay. Here we go. In January of 49 BCE, Julius Caesar led his army across the Rubicon River in northern Italy. Roman law stated that no general was allowed to do this, for if his army entered the city of Rome, the soldiers were more likely to follow orders from their general than obey the laws of the city. Therefore, generals were to leave their armies north of the Rubicon when they entered the city. Caesar ignored this, and upon his entering the city, plunged the Republic into civil war. Within 3 months, Caesar controlled the entire Italian peninsula and had defeated those who remained loyal to the past government led by Pompey. So basically, he ignored the laws of the city, brought his armies in, and took over Rome. Okay. Caesar continued to consolidate to gain power, and in February of 44 BCE, he declared himself dictator for life. So basically, he's like, yo, I took y'all over. I am now your God. I rule everything. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay? This unlawful invasion of Rome and the proclamation of his seemingly infinite rule turned many in the Senate against him. So people in the government turned against him. 60 members of the Senate concluded that the only resolution to the problem was to assassinate Caesar. That's an important sentence right here. How many people within the government decided it's time to kill Caesar? 60 people.
And that's why there's so many people in that place.
Yep. So let's go ahead and go answer these questions. First of all,
60 just for one guy?
60 people were like, yep, let's kill him. First of all, who wrote this?
Why do they say they don't know how when it's just like they give us? They just
I
say it.
don't know.
Makes no sense when they say they don't know how, but it tells us. It tells you how it happened.
Okay, who wrote this source? Who wrote this letter? Suetonius, a Roman historian. Okay, and then I want you guys to answer, what is his connection to Caesar? Does he know Caesar? Yes or no? How? All that stuff. You answer this one. We're on number 7. Okay, let's look at the motivation here. This one you can definitely answer. What evidence can you gather as to why Caesar was killed?
Because he took over pretty much all of
Good. He took over, and what did he declare himself?
a guy.
He declared himself dictator. He was like, this is all mine, nothing you can do about it. So basically, he took over, not he took, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, what? Wait, I got.
So he took over Rome and he declared himself dictator, and yeah, they didn't really like that. And then I do believe that you should be able to answer the next question. You don't need my help on this one. Does the source provide detail about who might have been involved? I'd like you to answer this one. It does say in this one who was involved. It does.
I mean, I would have never got that anyway, too.
Okay. And then finally, involvement. We've done this one many, many times. It's all the same questions if you haven't noticed. On a scale from 1 to 10, how involved was Suetonius, who was a Roman historian?
The next one says that. The next one says Cassius of Caesar's final days. I want to learn it and read it.
Okay. I'll give you about 2 minutes to finish up this one. Yes.
How old was Caesar when he was king?
When Caesar was assassinated, he was 55.
Almost 56.
Almost 56, yep.
Really? He was old. Why didn't we do it on his birthday? That would have been more special. You just take him to a birthday party and then do it there. Yeah. That's just kind of sad, bro. Why are you planning it now? I would just tell you, like, I need to kill Caesar again. Is Little Caesar's named after Caesar?
I don't know.
I think it's named after a Caesar. Caesar's pizza. Caesar. That's like the best pizza ever. It's named after Yoshi. No, yeah, it is. It's named after Yoshi. Yeah, someone named Julius
Okay. I have no idea what the pizza place is named after, but let's go ahead and focus back on this, please. Our next one is source number 8. It's a transcript of Caesar's final days. So that means words from Caesar in his final days. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down on our thing. Sources, so source number 8. This is part of Caesar's final days. It says, Mark Antony, which is one of the senators. Caesar, I have not seen you these last few days, so I have come to visit you in your home. Have you thought over my offer to ask the Senate to make you the king of Rome? Julius Caesar says, yes, Mark Antony, I have decided to take you up on your offer to be king. Mark Antony says, that is wonderful news. I'm glad to hear it. Julius Caesar says, but something here at my home is greatly disturbing me. When I told my wife Calpurnia about going tomorrow, she begged me not to do it. She cried out that in her recent nightmares, I was murdered. Mark Antony says, Caesar, it was nothing more than a frightening dream. Do not let this trouble you. Julius Caesar says, I had Brutus come to my home. Brutus is one of the ones that killed him. I had Brutus come to my home last evening to speak with Calpurnia, and he convinced her that she was misinterpreting her dream. But he said that the dream was a good omen. Mark Antony said, I agree, so we shall see you tomorrow then. Julius Caesar said, yes, I will be at the Senate tomorrow. And then we have Julius Caesar. I still have an uneasy feeling about this day. What if Calpurnia is right and something happens? I hear knocking at the door. Brutus says, Caesar, my friend, I am here to accompany you to the Senate. Julius Caesar says, Brutus, I am still not sure I should go. Something is gnawing at me. I have a deep fear in my soul. Brutus said, what is it, my friend? Julius Caesar says, I am disturbed by the frantic pleadings of my wife. I have also received a message from a fortune teller that I should stay home from the Senate. The soothsayer has warned that something bad will happen. Brutus says, nonsense, Caesar. Do not be troubled by such things. Hurry, the men await at the Senate to crown you king. We mustn't keep them waiting. And then they go there, blah, blah, blah. And then Julius Caesar says, hello, senators. It's nice to see you all today. And then what happens to him? Yeah, they all kill him, right? So, who wrote this? That's a good question. Who wrote this? Does it say? Yeah, they didn't necessarily. We don't know who wrote it, so not sure who wrote it. But yeah, let's just say we're not sure who wrote it. We don't know.
Look it up.
So then, I think you guys can do this part. What is the connection to Caesar if we don't know who wrote it? Yeah, there's not really a connection here. Just a transcript. Okay, I just added a little bit that says there's just a transcript of what was said. No? What? I'm very confused about what just happened. All right. Skylar, put it away and work on the assignment, please. Maybe. Okay, our next part, the motivation. Does this source talk about why he might have been killed? Doesn't really talk about why, does it? Okay, it doesn't really say why he was killed, but then I'd like you guys to go back in and see if they talk about who might have been involved. So you answer this one on your own, please. And then finally, we don't know who wrote it, so on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how involved was the author of this source with the killing of Julius Caesar? Sure.
Can I say I don't know?
I would prefer that you guys don't say IDK. That's not a sentence. I would prefer that you didn't write I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
And then the next one is
I named my dog Burger. No.
How old was Julius Caesar?
Like 30, I think, or 40, something like that. All right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and look at the final slide here, slide number 6. We need to read a letter from Marcus Brutus first. So he is a really close person to Julius Caesar. We're going to read through that first, and then we'll read our last one. So, source number 9, I'm going to go ahead and head over and read that. Source number 9 is a letter from Marcus Brutus to Cassius. So it says, Cassius, I have read your plan thoroughly, and I believe we have no choice. It pains me to believe that I shall play a role in my best friend's demise. Caesar trusts me and has been a true friend, but I love Rome even more. I will meet him at his house on March 15th and bring him to the Senate. Here, this unthinkable but necessary crime shall take place. Marcus Brutus. What does that letter say?
What's the moment to splatter stuff?
It's ink. I don't know. This letter has collected dirt and smudges over the years. That's why there's things on it. So, what does this letter say? What is Brutus saying?
Brutus was his true friend.
Brutus was his good friend, but like, what is he saying they're going to do?
Brutus probably had the worst part to his friend.
Okay. So, first question, who wrote this one?
Marcus Brutus. Marcus Brutus?
Marcus Brutus, and then I would like you guys to answer this question about what is the connection. You guys should be able to decide what his connection to Caesar is. So please work on that one. Okay, make sure you answer those two, Marcus Brutus, and then how he is connected to Caesar. Then we have the part about what evidence can you gather as to why Caesar might have been killed. Did they talk about why he might have been killed?
Wait, this is what it said. He says why on this one, he clearly said that he had an influence to do it and he loved running. Come on.
Okay, so they think that Caesar is not good for Rome, right?
Yeah, Brutus was the best friend and he said he had money.
Ms. Jones,
Yep, what's up?
how do we watch your videos if YouTube is blocked?
I am not sure. I still need to get technology to unblock them, so it might take me a couple of days. They said that they did unblock it, so I'll try contacting them again, and I'll let you know.
Do you think maybe I could find your YouTube channel on my phone?
Oh yeah, that would work too, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Uh-huh. Alright, so they say that the evidence that we can gather is that they think that Caesar's not good for Rome. And then again, I would like you guys to answer this part about does this source provide detail about who was involved? So you answer this one. Who was involved? Yep, answer it. I'm just trying to figure out what you're doing. All right. And then I'm going to give you a few minutes, but as always, on a scale of 1 to 10, how involved do you think Brutus is in the murder?
I'd say 9. A 9? A 9? Man, he was involved in it. He said he with a sword and just put it across his head? Yeah. Yeah. When you want to keep it busy. No, I just shoved the sword down his throat. It was like,
We kind of are. As we read, we're discovering who did it. It's not as like CSI as the King Tut one it was. Yep.
forehead. Something. It's a UFO. If you don't know what it is, you don't ask. Yeah. It's the thing to get the mega on telekinesis. We got that laser light that has that on it. If you don't know what this is from, then don't ask the question. It's from, but how will I know? How will I know what it is? We'll watch some anime. You don't even know anime.
All right. Focus up. We have one last one that we're going to do here. Last one. This is a psychoanalysis from Harold Berzentang. Psychoanalysis is like where they analyze and take notes about someone's brain. So we'll see what this source says. I'm going to go ahead and head over and read it. It is a little bit long. But this was written in 2003. So was this during ancient Roman times? No. Good. So here we go. This isn't like basically someone's telling their opinion on Caesar and his rule as emperor. We are? That would be scary. Are we good? Tyler, Yoshi? Good? Okay. Says, let's face it, Caesar was the greatest general, politician, and orator of his era. It is simply impossible to believe that he did not know about the conspiracy that was mounting against him. In fact, I believe that Caesar was behind the conspiracy all along. It has been well documented that Caesar was suffering from what appeared to be at the time a mental illness. Members of the Senate, including his friend Cornelius Balbus, commented on the seizures and the memory loss that Caesar would experience from time to time. Perhaps it was epilepsy or even early onset dementia. No matter what it was, the answer is clear. Caesar was sick and he knew that he was not going to be around for much longer. A quick death would have been much preferred to Caesar than the one where he wasted away. Having the favor of the people, the Roman citizens who glorified Caesar, his assassination would lead to his eternal adoration. His adopted son Octavian, which is also named Augustus, so the guy we read about first, would also be guaranteed the same positive affection. On the other hand, his mental decline would likely turn the Romans against him. Caesar would have lived long enough to be labeled unfit to rule. Is it better to be killed than loved forever, or to live slightly longer and be remembered as senile? The answer is simple. Caesar dismisses his bodyguards when he is ready, then confidently strolls to the Senate, where he lets Brutus send him on his way. So this guy is suggesting that Caesar planned the whole thing and planned to be killed so that he could be, like, glorified after. Julian? That's true. What about the letter that Brutus just wrote about, like, we're going to do it, we don't want to, but we're gonna. So this guy is basically saying, like, Caesar was already dying. So Caesar himself planned to be killed so that it would look good for him and his son to be, you know, like they would still be counted as like, oh, they were the greatest rulers, not he got old and crazy. Well, it was written in 2003, so was he in Caesar's time? No. Okay, our next one. Okay, our next part. Who wrote this source? What was his name? Harold Burz. Because I don't know how to say his name, but you know, you can spell it. It's right there. And then I would like you guys to answer, what is his connection to Caesar? Okay, so I'll give you a minute. Answer those two.
Can I put you as like a Roman historian? Can I put you as a Roman historian? I'm glad it means Jonas died.
Yes, that works. That's just what this guy is saying. Like, that's what he got from this. Yep.
If he did do that, why would he take it back?
I don't know. Because it would look good. I don't know. It would not feel good, no. Number 2, what evidence can you gather from this source as to why Caesar might have been killed? Did it talk about why? Okay, because Caesar was sick and wanted to be killed. That's according to this source, though.
No, this was a suicidal note.
Not a note, but this guy is suggesting that Caesar planned his own murder so that he could still live on forever as people's favorite dictator.
I'm gonna get 20 points. Why would you want to go down like in the bed? Well,
Pick it up, dude.
I don't know. That might be good to write about in the part where you got to write in a few minutes. It's not very much at all. And then I would like you guys to answer the second part. Does the source provide detail as to who might have been involved? So does it talk about who was involved? It kind of gives a new perspective on who might have been involved, right? Yeah. Okay. And then, as always, on a scale of 1 to 10, how involved was Harold in the killing of Caesar?
One.
Well, write your answer. I'm not going to give you guys the answer.
How do you think it's 10? There's one thing though. There's something bad did happen and they were relatively good.
True. Okay. Okay, listen for a second. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Do not turn this in just yet. There is one last section. It's like one little quick, the conclusion part. So don't turn it in when you're done typing it out. When you're done typing it out, if you go over to Google Classroom, you can get rid of the sources stuff. There is one that's called the Caesar CSI Conclusion. That is where you answer the questions on this page. Who do you think was responsible for the assassination of Julius Caesar? And why do you think he was killed? So, on the first one, who do you think is responsible? I would like you to write 3 to 5 sentences. Okay, 3 to 5 sentences explaining that one. Yeah, you could put one person if you think it was one person that was responsible for it.
I think there's a lot of people, but the thing is I can't fit all that.
Well, you can write more. It doesn't have to just be 3 to 5 sentences. But for this one, you need to go over and write your conclusion. So 3 to 5 sentences for the first question and 3 to 5 sentences for the second question. Once you finish up answering who you think did it and why you think they did it, you can get it turned in. You just got to make sure you go over to this side and do both of them. So at this point, once you turn this in, all of the Google Slides should be done. Skylar, can you stop, please? So, I'm going to let you guys just be working on this because your goal at this point is to finish it up and get it turned in. That is the rest of the assignment for the day, so just make sure you finish those up.